Hey guys, today we're going to be talking about Codecademy. They released a new course. We're going to be talking about what it is and why I really think it's really cool. And then we're also going to talk about just a little bit of a personal opinion about some of the shortcomings of Codecademy and how I hope they change, because I'm a big fan of theirs. But unfortunately, I think they're doing a lot of things wrong. It's going to be a little bit more opinionated. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts about it in the comments below. So recently, Codecademy partnered with Amazon and they built a Alexa course, which is really cool. It's estimated to take about 2 hours. If you're not familiar with Amazon Alexa, it's basically their speaker, home, portal, connection system. And you talk to it, say, hey Alexa, what's the weather today? Hey Alexa, play Spotify. Hey Alexa, turn my lights off. And you're able to actually build tools for Alexa. During this, not only do you build tools, or build, I guess, apps, that is what they are. You build apps, but you also have the ability to build your own once you have the skill set. So you're going to build some during here, and as a prereq, they kind of recommend that you have a basic understanding of JavaScript. I wasn't aware that JavaScript built Alexa apps. Now that I know that, or I'm making the assumption based off this statement that they do, I might be picking up some I might be building some Alexa apps, just for around the house or whatnot. Hey Alexa, how many YouTube subscribers do I have? And just have it connected to the YouTube API or something like that. Just something fun. Again, it's going to take about 2 hours. You can see the syllabus here. You're going to build your first one here, and it has a free-form project. And then another one here where you're kind of building your project. 2 hours, pretty short. If you just want to build a cool portfolio project, I think it's really neat. I also think it's something that not a lot of people are doing, so there's still a lot of good ideas left. If you like, sometimes a lot of people have such a hard time and they don't want to build something that's already been built. I feel like there's a lot of untapped territory there. One cool thing about an Alexa app for personal story time, is when I went to the hackathon in Angel Hack, Los Angeles, there was a girl who was on a team by herself. She built I believe she was calling it the Airbnb Butler. And what it basically did was it allowed, why is my green screen all messed up? It allowed a user to go ahead and basically, when you rent an Airbnb, there's a list of house rules. And she built an app, say, hey, what are the house rules? And it was really good. And what's the host contact information? All the sort of basic questions that you would want to know. And I thought it was a great idea. And that since then, I've been very intrigued by the Alexa platform and building. So it's Google Home as well. I don't really have a preference one way or the other. I don't have either one right now. I probably will get a Amazon Alexa at some point, or Google Home, maybe when I purchase a house. But anyhow, so that's the cool thing. I want to talk about something that I'm a little concerned about with Codecademy. And I say this not to come off as a hater or not to come off as someone who's trying to be negative, but someone that's actually really concerned about the future of Codecademy. I've had this opinion for a while, probably about last year or year plus, and I've just been hoping that the direction would change, and it hasn't. And what I'm talking about specifically is that Codecademy is not really keeping up to date with not only web development, but they're not keeping up to date with education. And they're more focused on making money, and I don't fault them for that. And you have things like Codecademy Pro coming out. You have things like the intensive programs coming out, and I'll do a video talking about this. One thing I'll just say, since it's in the video, anything that you're going to pay over $25 for, if there is not a rating for it, don't buy it until there is. And that's just one thing I'll say about that. I'm a little concerned. And this build websites from scratch, it used to be called. It's essentially the same thing. Become a freelance web developer, and it was super misleading. And for what they were trying to present wasn't the best. But yeah, I'll do a separate video about that. They've actually done a slight rework of the way their site works, but my main issue with Codecademy is that they're not evolving. And what do I mean by that? Well, they're not, first off, they're not still creating their bread and butter, which is tutorials. That Amazon Alexa is the first one in a very long time, and it's a 2-hour one, and it's a partnership. Amazon, for all I know, reached out to them, and they said, all right, sure. Because they've been so focused on these intensive programs and the Codecademy Pro that I don't think is all that great for $20 a month. And there are other courses. They've done some updates and whatnot here or there, but they really haven't gone out of their way to create new content in their existing platform, being educational based, being the interactive tutorials. So where could they fix that? Well, for one, start getting a social media presence. If we were to go to YouTube, if we type in YouTube Codecademy, let's see what they have here. What's going on with my keyboard right now? All of a sudden my keyboard wants to die right now. If we go to YouTube on Codecademy, and you'll see that here, when we go to the channel, they don't really have one. They're not active with it. They don't maintain it. They have started working on blogs. I, in fact, have more subscribers than them. And if you were to compare, like, okay, well, 3 days ago, a month ago, one month, and before the month ago, it was a year ago. And these are basically just advertisements that they put on their site. That's all it is. So they don't have a presence on YouTube, which is obscene. Obscene. You have things like Treehouse, 50,000+, and people are putting up tutorials nonstop. You have Free Code Camp, which has over 200,000, is one of their direct competitors. So you're telling me an open source project can afford to have people put stuff out and manage the time, and you with $100 million worth of funding can't hire someone to do tutorials? It's a strange thing where I was hoping that they would pick up and start doing video tutorials, and you could make the argument and say, Dylan, well, that's not really their bread and butter. Their bread and butter is interactive tutorials. And I would say that their bread and butter is educating people in software. And that is the clearest cut way of doing it. And it's not like we're saying, hey, you teach people through tutorials in this platform, teach them in this platform also. It's not an unrealistic thing. And promote your site that way. Also, they just haven't been adding new stuff. Yeah, we talked about the Alexa course, but there's so much more, especially just in web development going on. They have a React.js part 1, part 2. It's probably very hard to keep that updated, but where's the Angular 4? Where's the Redux? Where's the React Native? Where is Vue, for that matter, if you want to throw Vue up there? Where are the larger frameworks? Where is the DOM manipulation for Vanilla.js? This is just web development. Programming, data science, programming itself. There's a million different programming languages. Python, JavaScript, Java, Ruby. Where's the C? Where's the C? Where's the C++? Where's the C sharp? If you're gonna go down that route, and it's so strange to me. You know, data science. What about MongoDB? What about all the other databases out there? So you have this weird world where they're focused so solely on making money that they're not still creating great content that says, hey, you know what? This, not even new, but this very popular library, language, whatever it is, here's a great platform where we can learn it for free, and then down the road, maybe you'll buy one of their intensive programs once they add a rating and they've worked out the kinks. God knows their first attempt at this was, they jumbled it all up. And maybe they start creating tutorials. They're in the position where they have so much money through funding, and being such a large company, that they could go and hire some of the best content creators. They could hire a Traversy Media if they paid them enough to make courses. They could hire a Maximilian to go out there and build courses and projects and sort of walk it through and help build up their YouTube channel and their brand. I don't know why they don't do social media. They have started doing blogs, because I get emails on them, and I'm glad that they're starting to do something with it. I just don't understand how a company in software couldn't understand the value of social media and also not continue to create content. Not continue. This AngularJS course, it's probably not a 1.6. It's 1.x, right? So it's not updated. You're going to learn the basics, fine. Some of the basics. I did this course. There's a lot that's not in there. And so are we going to accept the fact that, okay, well, this is what it is and it's not going to get much better? I don't like that. I don't like that at all. I don't like that they're teaching these intensive programs and some of the concepts, some of the languages they're not making tutorials for. I don't like that at all. I think these should be supplemental things that are part of their platform and not things that are not covered, right? So this is going to be into Node and specifically the Express.js package, and there's nothing on here for Node. Node would be an amazing thing to have on here. Node would be fantastic. It'd be the only real Node training center. I know Free Code Camp tried to do it. I didn't think it was very good, as much as I love Free Code Camp. So I'm very concerned with Codecademy just because, as someone who loves the platform and like, this is one of the premier resources I use. I've done almost every course on this site, and I have videos on my channel for the bulk of it. But for me, it was one of those things where I've been waiting for them to evolve, and they've been doing it in all the wrong ways, right? Some of the stuff that they charge in their Codecademy Pro, like they basically give you project ideas and charge and add it as a perk. That's not a perk. A Google search is not a perk. So it's very strange, and they've botched this. So I've my real doubts about it, and they just aren't doing what made them so great. Add new content. Maybe innovate with some video tutorials. Start building a social media presence. So people start following you on Codecademy and say, you know what? When I want to watch an hour-long tutorial, I have, get into the conversation. Free Code Camp has 200,000 YouTube subscribers, and Codecademy has many more users, and also has so much more money behind them that it's so strange that they're not focusing on maybe adding video tutorials of some type, even if they don't want to add it to their main type. It would have made a lot of sense to me if you signed up for Codecademy Pro, and not only did you get the sort of help, but you also got the video tutorials. And I don't know. I'm very concerned. Maybe you guys think I'm being too harsh. I've been someone who's liked Codecademy for a long time, and for the last year or so, I've been just kind of waiting and seeing and hoping that they innovate and they get their game together. And I'm just under the impression that whoever is kind of managing them from above doesn't necessarily get the direction of web development specifically. And, they have other things, but web development's kind of their main course. And I get that it changes fast and all that, but I get that maybe it's very hard to actually make one of these, and I would imagine it would be, right, to make a course where you can code it and it passes the code or doesn't and it compiles all that is very complicated. I have no doubt. That's where the video tutorials come in. You want to teach somebody Webpack? Awesome. You want to teach somebody Bower? Maybe not Bower. NPM, Node, Express, MongoDB, Mongoose. Start making tutorials, and if you can get around and it is feasible in a reasonable amount of time to build that, that's what you do. But it's very concerning. I wish they would figure something out. I don't know. I just don't know what they're doing, I guess, and it kind of concerns me because what they are doing I don't really like. That Amazon Alexa thing is probably the first shining bit of gold in Codecademy I've seen in a while. So I hope they get it together. Maybe you guys think I'm being too harsh. Let me know in the comments below what your thoughts are. But guys, I appreciate you watching the video. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, share, support me on Patreon, all that good stuff. I'll see you next time. Bye. Quick shout out to DevicePlus.com. If you're interested in the latest IoTs, hacks, do-it-yourself projects revolving around Arduino and Raspberry Pi, they have some great how-to guides. I highly encourage you to check them out, and thanks for watching.